Hey guys, it's Andrew from 510 Books here in my house, not in my warehouse or my bookstore, not in my garage, but in my house, in my office. Anyway, it's Wednesday, March 23rd, 2022, and I want to talk about my current process of trying to hire somebody. So, how I am going about looking to hire somebody to start working in my store during my sale. So this is for basically a retail position, but also there's other things that I want them to do outside of actually working during the sale. I want help with restocking the shelves. I also want help with sorting items as I get them in. But primarily to start off, it is a retail job. It is dealing with customers face to face, and in general, answering their questions when they're ready to buy, taking their money, their cards, their payments, all that stuff. It's of course keeping everything organized and tidy, clean, etc. Um, and just everything that goes with running a retail space. Now, of course, I don't have a traditional retail space, but regardless, it's still retail. It's still dealing with customers who are coming in to buy products from us. So that's the job that I am. By the way, that my kids are yelling in the other room, if that's what you're hearing in the background, FYI. Um, Better over there than in here. So, uh, yeah. So basically, I had someone who. Let me talk about the background, but I'm going to jump into some of the things that I'm going to do in terms of how I'm finding somebody, questions I'm going to ask, that kind of thing. But I had somebody working for a few weeks, like 3 weeks, maybe four, I don't know, but it was less than a month probably. Uh, Working a couple of weekends in a row, running the store, as I talked about in past videos. During that time with my first employee, I have a corporation, so I set up payroll with Square and did that whole process. So I at least was able to run through a couple of payment cycles and get comfortable with that and all the logistics of that sort of thing. I'm not 100% an expert on it because it was just one employee briefly, but I at least got a taste of it and had some experience. So that happened. That person ended up getting another job, full-time job, and that's also what I'm hiring currently for part-time. Um, yeah, so probably close to 20 hours to start, and then maybe going up to 30 hours. But anyway, so I had them, they left, and I haven't had anybody for a while now, which has been unfortunate because the big thing that I wanted was somebody to help me at least on Saturdays, um, so that I could have the opportunity to go to things that my kids are doing, like playing soccer and that kind of stuff. So this is really two pronged here about hiring somebody, because I do want my local sale to do a lot better than it has been doing. I want to double, triple what I'm doing. Um, but it is making enough money to where I can pay for somebody to work there several days a week, especially on the weekend, especially Saturday. So also though, so it's to have the ability to have more balance with my work and personal life on the weekend and family time, and also just even though my I'm very happy with where my uh, local store has how it's been doing, and getting more people to come in, more new customers, that kind of thing. I do know that it takes some time to really ramp it up and get a lot of people to come in there, a lot more people than I'm getting currently, and also that retail can be inconsistent and unpredictable and all that kind of stuff. So, however, I still know that I need, in order to grow this business beyond myself, in order to grow the business beyond myself, I know that I need to have somebody helping me out. Um, Hold on one second. Okay, and we're back. In order for my business to grow as big as I would like it, I have to stop doing everything. And I've talked about this in past videos, but I'll just go over it again real quick. So I really want to hire somebody, even though my store is not making enough money. It's making enough money to pay for them and still have money left over, but not as much money left over as I would like, clearly. Um, so I do know though that this is an investment in my business for the long term, the mid to long term, because it enables me to get experience with managing somebody, giving them tasks, knowing exactly what I need them to do, which my first employee helped me with, but I'll get even more clarity on that with the second employee. Um, and having them really take over stuff. Like I can have them be there on Saturday and Sunday, and they know what they're doing. They're running it smoothly. They're getting along with customers. Customers like them. All that kind of stuff is in place. I feel confident that I can, take a Sunday off, or I can take 4 hours off on Saturday and then come back and check and, whatever. I don't have to worry so much. And also, of course, training them about how to restock the shelves, also how to start learning how to sort through items, like all these DVDs I got, that type of stuff, starting to take over the sale more and more. That's all good for my business so that I can, the time that frees up for me, like I've talked about in other videos, I can do other things. So that's a big part of this, is starting to build a team around me so that I don't have to do everything, and so that my business can grow more than where it is right now. So some of the things that I'm thinking about, hold on, let me get a hold of my notebook here, and it's falling apart. Some of the things that I'm keeping in mind. Okay, so first of all, I posted on Craigslist. Yes, Craigslist. Spent $35 on an ad, but it was recommended to me by another business owner that I know, who said that he got a lot of responses from it and was able to hire a bunch of people. So that being said, I posted on there, and within the first 6 hours, I got 4 responses already. I've already gotten a couple of additional ones, so I've set up a couple of interviews, one tomorrow, one on Friday. We'll see how it goes. I requested or required that everyone, the people have retail experience, that they send me a resume, that kind of thing. So 2 things that I'm keeping in mind while I'm, when I interview these people in person. That's another thing I highly recommend for this kind of job, to interview them in person. It's a job that requires talking to other people, interacting with people. You can't be scared to talk to them. You have to be comfortable talking to them, all that stuff. So number 1, can I imagine working with them? And number 2, are they competent? Those are the 2 big things that I'm keeping in the front of my brain. So can I imagine working with them? It kind of feeds into, can I imagine them interacting with customers? Because I have to be able to be comfortable working with them, in order for me to be comfortable with them being around my customers. So also though, of course, I'm not going to be working side by side with them all the time, but chances are, once I do hire the person and they get trained, even though they can do things on their own, I'm still going to be near them, around them. So can I imagine being around them? Is it going to work out? Is it going to be a good working relationship? That's important, right? So that more importantly, they don't drive me crazy. Are they competent? I'm not looking for a rocket scientist. I'm looking for somebody that has common sense, that can do things like deal with money, have a pleasant conversation with people, knows how to put things away in alphabetical order. Like, put these records away in alphabetical order, put these CDs away, put these DVDs away, etc., right? Other types of things like that. Are they competent? All right. So the other thing is, I'm going to look at their resume beforehand, or I'm going to have it in my hand. I'm going to ask them about their previous job. Are they currently employed? What did you like and dislike about your former job? Why did you leave? What have you been looking for? What's your ideal situation? Trying to get an idea of really what they're looking for, because, I'm not currently hiring for full time, but there is potential there to get a lot more hours if I really see that they're going to show up on time, they're reliable, they're competent, all that kind of stuff. So I want to know, what they're looking for, because it's really sucks if, if I spend 3 months on somebody and then they leave because this wasn't really what they wanted to do. I'm not expecting somebody to spend 10 years with me, but at least hopefully a year plus I would get out of somebody. uh, Hopefully more. That's the ideal situation. For this job, there's also a lot of organizing, sorting. So, I asked them if they have organizing experience. Are they organized? Are they good at organizing, keeping things tidy? What experience do they have with dealing with customers directly, face to face? How do they deal with a customer if they're upset? That kind of thing. How are they able to diffuse a situation? Have they ever handled cash or made change? Are they comfortable with that? All of those things are the top of my head and are top of my mind as I am going to do these interviews. Oh, by the way, I already did do one interview, but it didn't work out. But I did do one. It was very brief, but I immediately kind of knew that it wasn't going to work out. That's the thing, is you want to have a conversation with them. Don't make it so stiff. It's just me. I don't have a big company yet. Ideally, in the future, I will have more employees and I will grow and that kind of thing. But for now, it's just me. So I have to be able to get along with them. I have to see that they're competent, that there's potential there, that they're going to stick around. Although you never know. The other thing is, which was recommended to me, is the minimum wage in LA County is $14 an hour. Is that maybe I start off at like $15 an hour. So I posted this ad at $15 an hour, which is just $1 over the minimum wage, but it's still a little bit more to potentially make it a little bit more appealing to people. We'll see how that works out. But so far I've gotten, I think, 6 responses. So that's a good thing. And I am happy with that, especially if I'm able to hire somebody. Because for me, it's going to be a big deal to have somebody I can rely on going forward on the weekends, so that I don't have to be so tied to the schedule of the business. Also, I'm thinking that once I find somebody, that I might open more days than just Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Why couldn't I open, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday as well, and maybe just stay closed Monday? Because I've always thought of it as, I went from once a month to now weekly. 2 years I did once a month, every 4 to 5 weeks. And I would have tons of time to restock and all that stuff. It would be kind of like an event I was trying to have. But I realized at the beginning of this year that I wanted to do it more often. And I knew that I would have to work a lot more at it, but that I also would have to hire somebody. And that, why shouldn't I open more often? There's no reason for me not to. But when I was always having in my head, oh, like, am I going to have enough stuff to put out? How often do I restock? That kind of thing. And it can just be treated like any other retail store. This is a bit of a tangent, but it can be treated like any other retail store where, as things are sold, shelf space is freed up. You put out more stuff. It's that simple. And as of now, even now, even now that I'm open every week, 3 days a week, people ask me every single sale, oh, do you put out new stuff each week? Well, yes, I do. I always say, yes, I do. Which is true. And I post stuff on Facebook and all of that. But if I was open, let's say, 6 days a week, 5 days a week, it'd be more like, yeah, I put new stuff out. I mean, we're open all the time, basically. So every day, if there's space, if some stuff sold, I'm going to put more things out. So anyway, that's another thought that I've been thinking about, is opening more often, because why not? A lot of the days leading up to my sale, at least a couple of them, I'm in the warehouse anyway. So, why not be open and not have, also it's less stress about restocking, because I feel less stressed about restocking now that I'm open weekly than I did when I was open monthly. So anyway, other thoughts. If you have any comments, leave them below. Any suggestions about hiring people, leave them below. If you enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up. I talk a lot about reselling and books and media on Amazon, eBay, as well in my local store, and things that have to do with all of those topics. So subscribe to the channel if you are definitely, if you're new to my channel. And I've been on YouTube, believe it or not, for 6 years. It's crazy. So thanks for watching, guys. See you in the next video. Stay safe.